Welcome to the Business Lab Unfiltered, where we, Omegia Keys, and my business partner and my best friend,
Kathy Taylor.
provide you the business tips, along with the good, the bad, and the ugly of being an entrepreneur. Together, we are your digital business coaches. So, Kathy,
Yes.
how was your week?
Oh, I had an awesome week, ending the month of January, now flowing into the great month of February, Black History Month. I'm super excited. And you know what?
Good.
I see
Oh, what?
this Black History? Because she is a phenomenal woman.
Yeah, that's me. Phenomenally. I love that poem though, and I love how she says it. Maya Angelou, yes, I love how she says it.
I mean, you are phenomenal.
Oh, well, thank you. So, man, it's 2022.
Wow.
I'm just like, this month, first of all, it's moving fast. I think it's moving fast because we're doing so much, just like part of it. We're January jam packed. So we're doing a lot. Things are moving great. But since it's Black History Month, we're gonna stay on that.
Yes.
And since it's Black History Month, what should they do?
You still have a chance to go out and watch Surviving America. It is on Tubi and Amazon. So be sure to check us out.
Yeah, and for those who don't know it, Surviving America, it's our film, of course. Yep.
It's Mimi's baby.
Whatever. We're producing partners on the project. But yes, I came up with it, but we bounced ideas off of each other
I
to
know,
get there
but
though.
I'm saying, it's still like your baby. I see you all in it, how passionate you are about, things you do, but it kind of rolls into your whole crime drama. You talk about all of this stuff. I mean, it's everything of who you are.
I mean, in a nutshell, it is. Hey. Anyway, today's episode is all about the dark side. Ooh, the dark side
of being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
How many of you guys can attest to that?
Yeah,
I can.
Absolutely. You raised your hand. This is funny. So we are using a new camera, and I forgot it's motion sensor. So Kathy raised her hand, and the monitor decided it wanted to go that way. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit for a moment. But yes, the dark side of being an entrepreneur. I think my first one was when I first started being an entrepreneur, it was in book, the world of books, even though I was still up in the military. I think it was that fear of being broke and not earning any money.
Yes.
That was the biggest for me. But the thing is though, I was broke because I was too scared to put myself out there. Like I had this business, but I was too scared in the beginning to even get out there. So I was my own product of the being brokenness, because once I actually got out there.
Yes. And I think that's the thing for most of us, the fear of doing it alone. You're scared, you're trying to understand what you're doing. And the biggest thing with that is, how are you going to survive?
Yeah,
with you being in charge.
Oh gosh. Right. You don't have anyone else to fall back on if you fail, if you succeed, if you do anything. It's all you when you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Us and this camera just really freaking me out again here.
I didn't do it.
It was me.
So I guess. Come on back.
Yes. It's y'all gonna laugh at us on this because this new thing,
we have some new technology, you guys, and it is also amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, but it's kind of Skynetish. So yeah, Skynet, Terminator, yeah. My husband bought this new camera for me, and so it's just doing what it wants to do. I was not prepared when I connected it today because I did not read the instructions. I was not prepared.
Saying, we're gonna all be about Omegia today.
Oh, I know, because it keeps on fading up over here to me. So I'm just gonna leave it, and when we move and talk, it's just gonna go there, I guess, because it's just crazy. Anyway, it is an awesome awesome quality, but it is kind of freaky because it's moving and following me around right now and scaring the crap out of me. But yes, being broke and not earning the money, I think more of it was not earning the money that other people thought I should be earning too.
Well, that, but also, I mean, when you're comfortable with a corporate job or a 9 to 5, you get accustomed to, your everyday, how you make money. So again, you're trying to now go into a whole nother world that you're just not comfortable sometimes.
That's true. Number 2, lack of organization. This has never been my issue, but I have seen it with other people. What are your thoughts on that one?
This one is hard for me because, coming from the world of planning, Um, organization is key. Um, it will throw me completely off or stagnate me if I'm not organized. I have to be organized. So for me, that one is a little hard to, the lack of understanding. Like, please get organized. It will save your life as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, we both had the we both had instances where we have worked with other people that weren't
Yes,
organized, and it drove me insane trying to keep this person on track. it drove it drove me insane because I am when we do anything, like even doing this podcast, I have the steps down, the outline, the shell of what it is we're doing. And I'm like this for everything. Even if it's something that people would deem as put together as last minute,
yes. It
it's
still
not,
has to be
it still
organized.
has to be organized. I just don't get it. And like this person, what I saw number one is they were spending money in areas that they shouldn't. Organization costs you money.
More money.
Yeah, it costs you so much more money when you're not organized, and you can miss out on the help that you need because you aren't organized if you're not, allowing people that time to get the things they need.
Correct.
Some people will walk away from it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I ended up walking away. I just gotta be honest. It was some other things that caused it, but organization was very high up on that list of I have to be organized. I just can't do it.
It's kind of like breaking out in hives. It just irritates your skin. It's hard to function
Yeah,
with chaos.
exactly. Chaos. That's exactly what it is, and not just with them, but like even other people that we've tried to help. Business wise, we have the steps out there that you need to take, and those steps are for a reason. So when people want to try to jump around or doing all out of order, then their stuff falls apart, and it's like, well, because you
Deviate
did
if
it.
you want to. You will be by yourself.
Yeah, that organization, you can't be unorganized and then expect other people to come and clean up your mess.
Yeah. So if you're gonna create mess, the third thing you have to do is stay positive.
Absolutely. Stay positive. Oh my gosh, staying positive. Kathy, how are we gonna stay positive?
I, I get in trouble. If I stay positive, I'm being too nice, I'm doing this. But I have to. You have to stay positive. People want to be around people that are happy, people that are smiling, people that have positive thoughts. Because I mean, it creates a feel good. And being an entrepreneur, you have to stay positive.
Yeah, you really, really do. I do, even though I cuss a lot, I do stay. I actually do stay very positive because I'm always looking at what's next. Okay, something bad may have happened in this moment, but we're gonna get through this and get it out the way. Now, don't get me wrong. I may cuss, I may fuss in that moment, but it doesn't last long. And I never let it last long. I'll be like, all right, next. Okay, anyway, moving on.
But here's the thing with you, Marie. For me, I guess I could just admit you are always that positive, role model for me. So if I'm having a bad day, I call her. She's like, girl. It's gonna be okay. Get over it. This is what you need to do. Or she always, extends something positive. And that's important, doing this. You have to have people around you who are also, they understand you and they get you. And they can stay positive with you.
That's right. Yeah. And that's having a good team around you. And if you can't stay positive, you need to do step number 4,
Which is
pivot. Like pivot, make a change. I think we say pivot a lot.
we do.
We do. But it's the truth though. You have to, if things are not working out for you and you're negative all the time or surrounded by negativity all the time, pivot, 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 make some sort of change if it's not working out. I mean, I've
Me-
pivoted so many
I was
times.
getting ready to say, me, you will pivot. Man, I'm guilty. It takes me forever, but once I do, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I'll see something at the beginning that needs a pivot, and I've already moved on, and I'm just waiting for you to catch up on that pivot. But I've already seen it, and I've seen down line of where the problem is and where it's still gonna lie. And that same problem that was a problem in the beginning is the same problem in the end. So I'm just like, let's not even go through all that. Let's just pivot and make it happen. And that can be like even let's be real here. We actually thought we were gonna film in 2021.
Yes.
We thought we would actually be filming donors then.
Yes.
But when we got realistic through our organization,
There's a planning or
planning organization, and realized like the budget for that project is so vast. Like, the money that it's going to take is no less than, $500,000 to film this project. And that will still make it an extremely low budget film in the film world. But, actually feeling it and knowing that, okay, let's pivot and do some of our other stuff
yes.
to feed back into that. It's not stepping away from it completely. It's one of those things like, okay, we need to build up some more
Yeah.
to get to that point.
And understanding that everyone may not understand or agree with your pivot.
Oh, no, 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 they may not, but you have to make those decisions that are going to be the best for you
Yes.
mentally and physically, and I mean, I guess spiritually too. Sometimes you're the one that's going to have to sit with it as it pertains to your business, because the bottom line is when it is your business,
Yes.
you're going to be the one holding, the bag per se.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that, and no one else can do it for you. Those changes, you're the one that are going to have to live with it. That's the bottom line to that.
Or if you don't pivot, going into our next one, you will be back to your 9 to 5. But we're going to talk about leaving that 9 to 5.
Oh, child. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Leaving that 9 to 5, for me, I think it was the dark side of that. Leaving a 9 to 5 was like, I had a whole military career. Like, even though I medically ended up retiring, I
Mhm.
was so close to my actual, retirement, that 20-year gap. So stepping away from that uncomfortable comfort
Yes.
of being in the military for so long and making that decision that you know it's time to step away. But the flip side to that is things had gotten so bad, it was like I could sit in that misery or
Mhm.
I could put things in place to make a change to step away from it. And there have been times where, because we are in also in the film industry, and because I was so dead set on like we needed this money for a project or something. And when you're spending 50,000 plus on films, you could clean out your bank account, you can use your credit cards and stuff like that. But we got to the point where like, we using the credit cards, but then the credit cards got to be paid back. And we're still moving on. We're still making money up over here, but all this money on this side can't filter into this other pot at that moment because when you have a business, some payouts take a lot longer to come or whatever. But when I was ready to film, let's say for Shattered, that little mini series that we did, I took a 9 to 5 and it killed me. them, them little 3 months I worked, boy.
And understand, it's okay to do that if that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But even for me, the 9 to 5 is kind of like that part-time job. I don't plan to be there
Yeah.
forever. And I've gotten in trouble because I tell people I'm unemployable.
Yeah.
You know,
we
when-
both
when
are.
you have gone through, working for corporate jobs and have given them so much time. And when you understand, being in network marketing, what they call it's a pyramid, and they're saying you're never going to reach the top. How do you reach the top? You create your own top.
Exactly.
And you're never going to get that working a 9 to 5. So I understand that it's hard. So if I have to go back and work a 9 to 5, it's usually because I'm trying to offset some taxes and that's a whole nother tip
Yes.
you guys can learn later. But yeah, it's not my main babe.
Yeah. If you have to go back, don't let it overtake your business and your reasoning for you to have to go back. There's absolutely nothing like that. But if you pay attention to everything that we're speaking about digitally on the digital side,
Yes.
mastering your digital business like a boss, you won't have to go back unless you're doing like what I was saying, filming those films where we needed those extremely large pots at that moment to jump it off. That's a whole nother like I would not advise an entrepreneur starting out to jump into the film industry. That is a whole nother expense on its own. But that leads us to what are we on? Number
Number
seven?
6.
Number 6. Oh, okay.
Starting from scratch.
Yeah. Okay. So both of our businesses started from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah. That was, when you're looking at other people and you're seeing how far along they are in their businesses and stuff like that, it's like, dang, how am I going to get there? But you got to remember to start where you are, not looking at where we are right now. And you got to start where you are to get to where you want to be. So that starting from scratch, it's okay to start with not even having $500.
Yes.
Yeah, and once you get it, you build up to those. And so quit thinking that you need everything at the beginning of your business.
You do not have to have it all figured out in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it takes time. Over time, you become better at every day at learning something new, trying something, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, it's like don't go and sit there before your business is turning a nice profit and go get you an office space.
Who
Don't
knows?
do stuff like that. Um, just for looks and appearances because
Yeah.
that's gonna leave you broke.
Yes. Stop comparing yourself to others. I mean, whatever it is, your goals, stay focused. Just stay focused on you. And I think we'll talk about a little more about that later on too, about just keep your eyes on the prize, and that's you.
Absolutely. That's a good prize right there. Yeah, and then starting from scratch is not it's you find your ways to get around and to make it work. Think about the type of business it is that you want to build and is that realistic for where you are right now. You don't say something like, "Oh, I want to go into the trucking industry," and you have $0 because it's not going to work like that. Put a plan in place to help you get from scratch to the start and then down the road and continue. And I'm not going to say to the finish because if you're in business, it's a continuation, not a finish.
Because you have to have money to even have a truck,
Exactly.
to have a trucking business.
Exactly. That that
That
that
part.
part right there. And so when you see so many people, oh, I want to start a business, you see them talking about it for years because they're not putting in that effort to actually start from scratch. It's too many other things that are too important to them to do to have. They don't want to make those sacrifices. When you're starting from scratch or when you start any business,
Sacrifices.
there are sacrifices that have to be made.
Yes.
What have you had to sacrifice along the way?
Man, I've sacrificed going without a new purse, all of these things that really doesn't matter. Even sacrificing my kid's birthday or just doing things in life because I knew at the end of the road, there was a brighter, a bright light. So I could go down the list of sacrificing.
Yeah,
So
I've had to sacrifice. Like hell, I was already sacrificing it when I was in the military. I was missing birthdays, holidays, all type of things. So if I can do that for Uncle Sam, I sure as heck can do it for my business. And
yeah,
people understand that. Like, but I mean, I no longer miss the businesses and stuff. But I stopped getting on that high, like, because my no none of my family lives here in Atlanta. But I stopped taking all those holidays that time and making those trips every single holiday. So I sacrificed that so I could work and finish some things and get it done because that's a lot of time. That time is a sacrifice.
yeah. But a key thing in sacrifice, knowing that don't sacrifice yourself though. There are things
Exactly.
in it, you can miss, but just don't sacrifice all of you because it's going to leave you empty. So make sure, when you're prioritizing and organizing your life,
Yeah.
so you stay on track.
Yeah. Exactly.
But in starting that, when you started from scratch, you also need a few other things.
Oh, shoot. Like trying to build a team and they fail you like that? Yeah. Like number seven.
Yes. Yeah, it's having the right team. Starting a business, I mean, and you're going to go through people,
Mhm.
you know, um, people who going to steal from you, they're going to lie, they're going to everything you can imagine in starting a business. You're going to go through those things with your team. So
Yeah.
save yourself the heartache and
Research them, like, research you can. Things are a lot better than when we started out. I'll never forget, oh my gosh, on the book publishing side, I took on an assistant one time, and this person, they had 0 credentials, they had anything, but they were so enthusiastic and just wanted to be a part.
those.
So I took this person with me from Indiana
Hmm.
to a trip down to, Texas for a huge book festival.
Hmm.
It was a National Black Book Festival. And I took this assistant down there, and I also my niece at the time was another author. I took her as well. Once we got there, this person got jealous of I think when she first met me, because I wasn't in that mode of, "Oh, I'm the book publisher," I think she
Hmm.
just realized I think she thought I was just someone who had wrote a book.
Gotcha.
But once we got to the book festival and she seen that I didn't just write a book, I had several books and I had several authors up underneath me,
Mhm.
and how people were speaking to me, wanted to get to know me, how I was helping people. It's like she was just sitting there getting jealous and bitter and mad. She was older, she was like 10 years older than me. And then it just hit her that she's not where I am in her life. So then she started to try to sabotage. And when I say sabotage, this person was going to other people who had just asked me to interview with them. And she was going behind my back to these people. I don't know why you want to interview her. She ain't got nothing, like really negative talking. She tried to leave some bad reviews. She tried to do everything. Now, mind you, I paid this woman to be there, paid for the trip, paid for the room, everything for this. And I physically did nothing to her other than be myself, show up and be an actual businesswoman. And she got angry. I mean, I don't know, don't care, but once we got back, I blocked her and removed her from my life and kept it moving.
Yeah.
And my business thrived by
Getting rid
with
of the
that person.
negative
Yeah.
people or the people who can't stay positive around you.
Yeah. I've had when I first started filming, had all my filming equipment stolen. 2015, boy, I had just spent $20,000 on film equipment, filmed for 4 weeks. It was the weekend filming and got all that stuff stolen from me. And then I had to start back over from scratch.
Yeah, but key thing, you didn't stop. You
No,
kept going.
no, I
You
never
didn't give
stopped.
up.
Yeah.
And I would say hard part for me with working with a team who fail you because I've always outworked a lot of the people that work with me.
Yep.
And that's hard. Most of them are even younger than I am. And it's like, oh, again, that phrase, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
But if I have to outwork you doing the work, I don't need you.
Yeah. And sometimes people that can fail you when you're building a team, they can be great as people. They can be awesome people. They
Yes.
can be your friend. They could be whatever. But when it comes to that business side,
Yes.
it's just not for them.
Yes.
I mean, and that's the true reality there, you
And
know.
understanding that.
And just know in business, I'm gonna tell you this right here. If you fail Kathy, you have failed me.
Right.
So I'm not waiting for you to come over here and fail me. I've already seen what you've done. I'm good. There is no chance in hell,
Yeah.
none, that you will have an opportunity to fail me because you have already failed me by failing my business partner and my best friend.
I'm the nicer one. Yes, and she means that. So no, rarely second chances. I mean, I'm almost have to. Okay, Mimi, here's the other side. And she like, okay.
Yeah, that second chance is only coming from you begging and begging, and then it always still turn out how I thought anyway. So just like "Ugh, whatever. Why did we do this? All right. So
But
you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
but I mean, there's ways of protecting yourself, even with people who fail you, and that is by having what?
Contracts. That's where I was going. Yep. Having those contracts will help you because it has been people along the business way that have tried to fail us.
Mhm,
And I was like, "Oh, but that contract says X, Y, and Z." And some people they can already get paid and
mhm.
they want to fail you. But me and the bank have a lovely working relationship when it comes to those people. Ooh, child. Speaking of, remember that girl that was didn't even show up to the film release, the premiere that was supposed to be the marketing person? She didn't even show up at all. Yeah, that it was supposed to be 3 people.
Blank silence.
Yeah, she did not show up at all, had nerve to send me a text message,
Mm.
after the fact. Child, please. I mean, that contract was strong, that contract was solid. I got all my money back from the bank with no problem. So please believe that I'm not gonna just let it go. I'm going to get my money.
And
Especially if you don't even bother to do the work for it.
and why would you expect anything different? And just to be clear, when we get to the point, we do not let things go.
Yeah.
So we're probably not the ones who you really want to mess with at the end of the day.
No, 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 no. And that's the thing, like with some people, I think some people are shocked because no matter who it is, when I slide the contract to them, they're all like, "Oh, oh no, honey.
We're good.
Y- Yeah, I mean, we're still gonna be friends, but you still gonna sign this contract."
Yeah. And
Or
just keep straight. You
yeah.
know.
And please believe I'm not the type of person that tell you one thing and it's another because even when you ask me questions, because people do this to me all the time, well, when is such and such? What does your contract say? I am big on that because I do it like that because I actually want you to read what you sign. What does your contract say? That means go back and look at it because I'm not wavering from it because I meant it.
And if you can't read, moving into our next one, again, in your business, ask for help.
Yes,
Know when you need help.
absolutely. You said if you can't read,
You
but
can't read
but
those contracts. Ask
yeah,
for
if you
help.
don't understand the contract, whatever.
Hire. an attorney, or whoever you need,
Yeah.
or ask a friend.
Yeah, who has been there. Ask your digital business consultants. Yeah, ask, but just ask for help. Don't just go out there all willy-nilly. And a lot of times, if it doesn't feel good, it's not good. I mean, hey, that money that we just stepped away from with
Yes.
that, I mean, we just walked away from a huge contract. And that was because the person didn't like the contract that I came up with for our business,
Yes.
and they wanted more, but they're not the founders of the business. They wanted more control than my actual partner. And this person was only there for a project, not an actual business partner. They were just there for that one sole purpose, but they just felt like they should have had more, needed more. And I think a lot of it was, I think they were actually shocked that I could actually write a contract without a lawyer. But you know why? Because I actually went to I was actually pre-law. A lot of people don't know that part, but I actually was, my first bachelor's is pre-law. So
Stop trying us.
exactly. Yeah, it's like like that. I mean, I can do that all day. I've actually written contracts for companies, for my friends, for their companies, and they've actually given my contract to their lawyers, and their lawyers like, she knows what she like. That's a really, really good contract. So, that's not to say that we don't have lawyers as well, but a lot of times with our lawyers, I write the stuff up, then send it to them, and they'll be like, okay, and then we move on. But that's just that extra protection. That's that extra level of protection.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to ask for help to get that stuff done
No.
because you will need it.
Yeah.
And if you start writing contracts and it don't work for you, just end the relationships. Our number 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Move on.
Know when to walk away. We've had to walk away several times. Like, just saying an instance, yes, we could have got this project filmed with that person, but would it have been worth it? No. What are you sacrificing that you don't need to sacrifice for someone else's benefit? It's no longer yours. Walk away. My biggest walk away is when anything is no longer feeling like it is mine, when it no longer feels like it's my ideas or my creation, or that's when I start to walk away, because the whole point of it is it's your business. When your business alone no longer starts to feel like your business but someone else's business,
Yeah.
walk away, because there are some people that are in it just for the takeover.
Yeah. And for me, it's about my peace. When my business is not peaceful, I mean, I started a project, um, well, there's been several, but the project we did a few years ago, I started one way and ended a different way because it was just taking away my peace. And for those who know me, I don't like confrontation. I don't like to be in a whole bunch of argument. Now, I will fight my point, but I'm not going to get in a pissing match. I'm going to leave you by yourself. So when it became difficult, when it wasn't feeling good to my spirit and my soul, I just had to walk away and recreate, start over, and just do things differently. So, you know, and it's going to be important too to have people who understand when it's time to walk away and they're going to hold your hand and say, you know what, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm awesome. I
Yeah,
can't say this.
you are.
I am awesome at that because because I go at things like this. It is us and there is the world. And it is us against the world. So when somebody don't do what they say they're gonna do, I'll be like, and shoot, I got it, whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
Forget you. And we run circles around
Yes.
whatever just happened. And I'm like that because I have been through it.
Mhm.
I've been through it. I see it, and I try to be for you what I wish somebody would have been for me in the beginning. That person. I just do what I've just always wish I could have had for myself. And I
Yeah.
believe that is very, very, important when it comes to having to end those relationships. And no, you don't have to cuss everybody out. And, even though I cuss a lot, I don't cuss everybody out when they do me wrong, unless, and this is a big caveat, if I cut you off and you can't take that cut off and you keep trying to come back, you're going to get the reasons why. And I am one of those people where I will finish you. Like, it's
Oh
video
my
game,
gosh.
finish him. That is me, because I want there to be no if, ands, buts about the reasons why. And you can't flip it back on me
Yes.
like, oh, well, I didn't know why. I didn't know exactly what I did. Oh no, because I'm a Cancer and I was taking a list. I have a whole list of XYZ, everything that you did to get to this point, a running list of why, this relationship has to end
That's
and it has to move on.
Mimi, we're gonna go straight for the cut. I typically give you warnings. I will tell you why. So it's always
They ignore
funny to
it.
me when people are clueless of why I don't deal with them anymore. It's like I've probably had numerous conversations with you. You just was not hearing it.
That's because they thought it was a joke. Oh, okay. She's having these conversations with me. She's still smiling. She's still
That's who I
we're
am.
we're still moving forward. We're still this. Meanwhile, I'm over there mean mugging them. So, they like, I don't know why Mimi don't like me.
And
Because I see you. I see the things that you're doing to I'm very territorial.
she is. And just know, sometimes when people cut you off, it's not because it's not everybody else's fault.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're the blame.
Yeah.
So I hear that a lot of times too. People want to blame me for other people cutting them off like I've done it. And I'm like, y'all have no idea. We were talking about this
We really were.
earlier, just saying how I'm usually saving people, and Mimi is like, "Rip, nope." But people like to, I'm an
Yeah.
easy target sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm great with cutting people off because I'm a numbers person, and I see the ways that it's costing the business money or anything like that. So I run those numbers in my head so quick, and that's really what it boils down to. It doesn't boil down to me liking that person or anything like that. I am about the business. I am about the foundation. I am about whatever that person is bringing to the table or
Mhm,
not bringing to the table. And I can separate.
mhm.
Um, I can say this, Kathy cares a lot more than me in certain ways when it comes to that type of stuff. Like I care, but I care about the business,
The bottom line.
the bottom line of the business above all of. So that's why there's that. I'm not just a mean person. I'm not any of that, but I refuse to let anybody mess up the business. Anything that we created, that I've created, that she's created, and that you will create.
Yeah, see, I got my armor. That's good.
Yeah, that's it. So, that was 10 already, of the dark side of being an entrepreneur. I'm sure a lot of you have your own ideas and can, add to it. Hopefully, this got you thinking. So, but we'll do a quick recap of, the dark side of being an entrepreneur. Number one, being broke and not earning money, because that is a reality of an entrepreneur.
Number 2, lack of organization.
Yes. Number three, staying positive. Seeing past the being broke, seeing past everything failing, seeing past all that. Just stay positive and focus on whatever your bottom line is. Number four,
Know when to pivot.
pivot, pivot. Yeah. Number five, leaving your 9 to 5 or having to return to your 9 to 5.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6, starting from scratch.
Yep, starting from scratch. And don't feel bad if you've been to the mountaintop and sometimes you got to climb back down that mountain because of that pivot. But it gets you past that mountain. The next mountain you get to is going to be amazing that you get to. So don't be afraid of that starting from scratch. Yep. Number 7, working with the team and that team fails you.
Hmm. Just go ahead and get you some contracts. Number 8.
Yes, number 8, contracts. Number 9, know when to ask for help. I know that is a big one for me.
Yep.
Because I ain't gonna do it. I ain't going.
And number 10 is for me. Know when to end the relationship.
Yes. No, I think that is awesome. Without understanding the dark side of business, your business will undoubtedly fail. You got to understand that no business is safe from this stuff. You just got to know how to work with it, But we aren't going to let that happen for you because we just told you how to avoid it. So, girl, what can they find us?
You can find us at Business Like a Boss on Instagram and Facebook.
Business Like a Boss Inc. Yes, we don't know who the other person is. That ain't us. Or at Tell All Inc. or AFM Media 1922.
And when you guys see this, leave us some comments. What's the dark side of being an entrepreneur?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And until next time, this is the Business Lab Unfiltered with Omegia, Keys, and
Kathy Taylor.